Okay, before I actually get down to the video, since my Wacom tablet isn't working, I do not have any drawing footage, so you're just gonna have to enjoy some generic gameplay. And with that out of the way, we'll head on to the video. I'm Not Starfire, or as I'm gonna call it, INS, so it's easy for me. It's a new DC comic made by, sorry if I butchered the name, Makio Tamaki. The story follows a 17-year-old character whose name is Mandy and is a child of Starfire. Now that I'm done with that small intro, let's get on to the main section, what I think of the comic. And also note, I didn't finish the comic because of how bad it was. I only got to page 53, so keep that in mind. Art style. Now, I'm gonna start with something that's more subjective. Personally, for me, the art style can be fine at times, and it's nothing too extreme. At times, it could look ugly, and at times, it just looks decent. It's just mainly opinion based. This one is different for everybody. The plot, the plot is just about being different or not wanting to be like someone you're supposed to. Now, I don't think that's a bad idea, but the way that it's written in the story is just not good. The way that you're supposed to feel for Mandy is that you're supposed to feel bad or be able to relate to her. The thing is, you can't. She's super annoying and selfish and like is really hard to like as a character. Now, I'm just gonna be honest here. I just hate the main character, Mandy. Okay? They're selfish, they only think about themselves, and when they do think of others, it's just about how bad they are, when most of the time they really aren't. They have a problem with almost everyone, even their own mother. And when they don't have a problem with other people, they're just self-pitying themselves and refusing to do anything about it or trying to fix it at all. Look, I know what it feels like to be a teen. Hell, I'm one right now. But I don't know a single person who acts like this. She has to be one of the worst characters I have ever read about in any story. Now, the first side character we're talking about is Starfire. Starfire is the mother to Mandy, and let me just say, Starfire is a pretty good mom. Starfire gets her food, tries to have a general interest in her life, helps her with her academic. Starfire is shown to care and show concern to her daughter, which any good parent should do. Now, let's go on to Mandy's best friend, which I'm surprised she actually had one, is Lincoln. Lincoln, there's not really much to say about him. He's not really an interesting side character. He's just Mandy's best friend. Nothing really special. Now, let's go on to the third side character, Clara. Clara is Mandy's love interest and is overall an average character. Now, I was originally going to say how the love writing in the story is written pretty averagely, but after being shown just how toxic it gets, I decided against it and instead wanted to say how these two even ended up with each other. Now, I don't know much about writing same-sex relationships in stories, so I'm just going to move a bit past on that and just move on to the last character I gotta talk about. Darkfire is apparently Starfire's sister and Mandy's aunt. Now, I didn't read as far to get this Darkfire, but apparently she's the villain of the story. But I didn't get far enough to find out about her, so I won't say anything about her. Okay, now let's get on to my actual problems with the story and how it's written. First off, the main character Mandy is very unlikable and you just can't relate to them at all. They're very selfish and they only think about themselves. They don't really care about others, and the only time they do is when they agree with her for almost everything, kind of like her best friend Lincoln. Now the love story is just, it feels like the love story is written just so that the main character can have a love interest. From the small parts I read, they don't seem to have any shared interests at all, which is kind of confusing because how does that work in a relationship if you don't share a common interest with each other? Now, let's get on to the biggest problem I have. This story seems to be aiming at a group of people, but they're trying so hard that they're not relating to anyone at all. This is why this story failed. It wants to be relatable to teens like me, but the way that it's written is so bad that almost no one can relate to the story at all. No one acts like these characters and no one want to be like these characters because we people, we actually have a character. We actually have morals, unlike these characters and unlike the main character. And now for my final thoughts. Don't read it, don't buy it, not worth your time or your money. I wasted about an hour just trying to get to page 53. Don't do it. Hi everybody, thanks for making it to the end of the video. So starting this week or next week, I'll be holding a poll to see which video you guys want me to make. This is so I can connect with you guys and you guys can also connect with me. I'll also start making special videos on Friday starting next week. These videos will be mainly art focused and I'll have a poll for what kind of art videos you guys want on that. Thank you for watching.